do this. Hi. Hey, I gotta lower the volume. All right. Hi. How you doing? Welcome to the replay. My name is Bobby. I am the host of this group, The Spiritual Artist. And it's Monday. I took a day off, and already I forgot what I say and how to get these things going. I got it now. All right. I'm Bobby, Spiritual Artist, Daily Fuel. Welcome to the replay. So, if you're watching in the replay, do me a favor and let me know that you're here. You can write hashtag replay, hashtag replay person, hashtag replartist. Somebody put once. That was cool. Mikey's here. Hi. Mikey, how you doing, buddy? Nice to see you. So if you're joining live, like Mikey, you can start commenting anytime you like. And if you're new to Daily Fuel, I'm going to go through my spiel. I'm going to ignore all the comments. Then I'm going to finish my spiel. I'm going to come back to the comments. I'm going to read them. And that's how Daily Fuel works. So let's just wait another. Wow, I got through that really fast. Let's just wait another minute. I like to go around the 2-minute mark to get things started. So if you're watching in the replay, typically around the 2-minute mark is when I actually start. Sometimes it goes a little longer. Rarely shorter than that. Crimson is here. Hey, Crimson, how you doing? Hello. How you doing? All right. So that's. We still have, this is taking forever. We're only at 1:30. I already said everything I usually say. That usually takes 2 minutes. But so I usually like to wait till around the 2-minute mark. So just bear with me, you guys, and we will get there soon. Let me see. I've been busy today. I've got things going on. I'm very excited about some stuff that I'm working on for us. So we will get to that soon enough, though. Not today. All right. I wasted enough time. Let's get started. Perspective. Perspective means point of view, the way that you see things, right? So if I'm standing at a particular angle, I can see things this way. But if I stand at a different angle, I can now see things from a different angle. You understand perspective. We're artists. So it's typically that's like the technical 3-dimensional reasoning for perspective. But there's also a mental, spiritual perspective. We see the world the way that we see it from our place, from our station, from our standpoint, from the way that we live, and from we go through an experience, and then the next time we experience something like it, we see this new experience from that old viewpoint, because I remember how this works. It's probably going to work this way again. And now that's the way we kind of see things. So all of the different aspects of life we start to see through our unique perspective. Sometimes that's a good thing. Like when you're driving a car, when you first learn how to drive a car, you have to figure everything out. You have to remember everything. But eventually, you kind of program into your subconscious brain how to do things so that you don't have to remember all of that stuff consciously all the time. And we do that for everything. We do it in our art. We do it in life. We do it in work. We do it in our relationships. And sometimes it's a good thing. It saves time. Sometimes it's a bad thing. We react and respond to things the same way that may not serve us very well. So what I was thinking is we can get bored with things. If you do something the same way and you react and respond and are constantly looking at it from the same perspective, at some point you start getting bored with it, I think. So there's no challenge in it, right? So I've got 3 ideas about how to switch up your perspective. Not because having a particular point of view is bad per se, but because sometimes we might not even know that there's a better one, or even just seeing it from a different perspective may give us more appreciation for the one that we already have. So here they are. The first one, number 1, is just getting back to basics. So here's a real life example. I may or may not have mentioned this before on Daily Fuel. Years ago, when my daughter was born, like right after 9/11, I was a volunteer firefighter in the town that we used to live in. Here in where we live in Long Island, New York, each town, each hamlet has its own fire department, and they're all volunteer departments, so nobody's a paid firefighter here. In New York City, they have FDNY, that's a paid profession. That's their career. Here, it's just volunteers. So I volunteered in my old town. And every time there was an alarm, a fire, a real fire, they would have a review of what happened. And somebody was there. Their job was to take pictures and to kind of pay attention to everything that was going on and document how the department handled the emergency. And then afterwards, everybody would always say the same thing: we got to get back to basics, because we'd review the footage and the photographs and the reports and everything, and realize, look at all these mistakes we made. So the problem is that everybody starts getting habits. You respond to things a certain way, you react to things a certain way, and so in the fire department they used to say we have to have some training and get back to basics. So what I mean by that is these bad habits are just programmed into us, but sometimes we can just remember the fundamental aspects of what we're doing, because we start with the foundations. We learn a skill, we learn an art, we learn a job, we have a new relationship with somebody, and there's the fundamental aspects to it. But then things start to happen, and then they happen again similarly, and we start to build programs around it so we don't have to think about it all the time. And now before you know it, we're on autopilot for half the stuff that we do in any given situation. But if we get back to basics and remember the fundamentals of what we're doing, then we can just think about it from that foundational point of view and not let the program run. We can, we might end up saying, oh, the program is really good, it helps me all the time, and that's exactly how I'm going to keep doing it. Or we might realize, wow, I have this habit of reacting to a certain stimulus this way, and I always get the same results, and it's not good for me. I don't like it. I don't like how my life turns out from that, or I don't like my financial situation, or I always have a bad relationship, or I'm not progressing in my art career. So getting back to basics might just help you to strip away all of that stuff that we create and just add to things, and just think, what are the foundational elements of this? Just start there and then build anew. So that's number one, is getting back to basics. Number two is to think differently. Just try something differently. Do a completely different thing. So now that you're back to basics, maybe you might be like, okay, well, the foundations are this, and this, and now what do I do? So you might just start piling on all the same old crap because you don't know anything else. But we have the ability to do things that are different. In art, we can try a different medium, a different tool, a different technique. You can try creating things at a different time of day. If you usually are a night owl, try doing things in the morning or the afternoon. Just do something that's what I call a pattern interrupt. So we get these habits, right? So interrupt the habit. So think about it. If there's a thing in your life that is constantly just, you're in this revolving door, I never have enough money, or I never have a good relationship, or I can't seem to figure out how to do that thing, whatever it is, right? Think about what the pattern is. How do you go about doing it? Do you wake up in the morning and you're thinking the same things all the time, and you're behaving the same ways, and you have the same morning routine, and you go to work the same way, and you do the same things, and you do, right? Everything's the same. How can you interrupt that pattern? How can you just do something completely different to make your brain go, whoa, wait a minute, we don't do that. How I have to think about this now. Maybe take a different route to work. Maybe take the bus instead of driving, right? Something that's going to make you think and have to figure out. You ever notice, like, if you drive, this is a good example of this. If you drive, if you go to the same place every day, even if you don't drive, if you take mass transit, it doesn't really matter, right? If you're traveling, but you travel somewhere the same way to the same place all the time, you can kind of do it on autopilot, right? Have you ever found yourself driving down the highway thinking about something, all of a sudden you realize, I haven't been paying attention for the last 5 miles. Like, it's just, if something happened, you would have been awake and noticed it, but your brain doesn't need you to be completely conscious of it, right? If you're taking mass transit, you just get on one train, off onto another, get off this stop. You don't even think about it. You just know everything. You know the smells and the scents. But if you're driving somewhere you've never been before, or you're traveling anywhere that you've never been before, you ever, like, you're driving down the highway or something, and now you get off the highway and you're on the side streets and you got to follow the directions. What do? You turn off the radio and you're thinking, you got to look at the signs. You don't know where you are. You've never been here before. You don't know anything. This is a pattern interrupt. So now you have to pay attention and to things that you consciously don't usually pay attention to. So what I'm saying is let's do that on purpose. What can you do, whether it's in your art, maybe it's try a different tool. If you're a painter, try sculpting something and watch what happens. Like you take a painting that you made that you love and make a 3D version of it somehow out of anything. Can you do it? Right? It's like you have to think about how to do it. But when it comes to the art that you usually make, you might just be with your eyes closed and blah, 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 and it's getting so easy that you don't even think about it anymore. And you could do that with anything in your life. You could do that with a relationship or your job or a business or anything. So that's number 2. Think differently and try a pattern interrupt. When you change that pattern, you'll change your perspective and you'll see things completely differently. And then finally, number 3 is try to find a new teacher. This could be taking a class or collaborating with somebody or watching a new YouTube channel or watching Daily Fuel or finding a friend or a group of people to have a mastermind with. Just talking about things that you do all the time and, sharing your goals and sharing your dreams or sharing your strategies and tactics for something and then hearing other people's, that is going to open your mind up to other ideas that you wouldn't get just trying to figure it all out by yourself. So that's it. We all have a perspective, but if we could just sometimes change that perspective, you might see things completely differently and it could solve some problems that you can't seem to figure out how to solve. But now that you're looking at it from this angle, the solution becomes obvious. So that's that. Let's go to the comments and see what we got. Mikey says hi, and Crimson says hello. Crimson says, I find that as artists, our perspectives are so much different from other people. They really are. And that's one of the reasons that I love talking to artists, is because I can use metaphors and creative ideas that I think most people just don't get. But even if you don't understand the metaphor that I'm using for a certain thing, most of us are creative enough that you can figure it out. You can extrapolate from your own life to understand what I mean. So yeah, we do think differently, and that's another thing. And that's the reason I use words like perspective, because that's an artist's word, and so we understand that just from our art. But it's so important in life as well. Robin, hearts and leaves. What is that? Leaves. Hi, Robin. How you doing? Crimson, you get tunnel vision. Yeah. You're not talking to me, right? You mean you get tunnel vision. You generally. Robin says, back to basics, fundamental foundation versus try something new, interrupt the habits. Yeah, all the things. Ray says, have to watch again. Forgot? I do this every day. How could you forget? Mikey's writing. Today's essay is brought to you by Mikey. That's a first. Not just our perspective is important, but that of the audience. Oh, I like that. I like that a lot. Let's see what you say. To communicate effectively, it's important to consider the perspective of the listener, viewer. This involves taking into account the device, medium of the listener is being used and the environment they may be in. That's great. You know what? That could be a whole other Daily Fuel. Considering the point of view, the perspective of your audience. I like that. I'm not going to riff too much on that because I feel like I could talk about that for a whole other video. Let me write that down. That might be tomorrow because that makes a lot of sense. Hang on a second. I got a pad of paper here. Mikey says, I'm going to write POV of audience. Thanks. See, this is why I have you guys, because otherwise I have to think of all this crap, man. I can't think of everything. So, Ray says, 6 men of Indostan. I don't know what that means. Hello, Bobby and company. Oh, it's Deb. Deb, you still haven't clicked the eCam link? Damn, am I too late? Yeah, sorry, you're late. Everybody's late today. Darn, didn't get the notice. You didn't get the notice? Oh, that stinks. I'm sorry about that. I did tag everybody, didn't I? Yeah, I was wondering because a lot of you people weren't. A lot of people or a lot of you guys. I said a lot of you people and a lot of guys. I mixed up the words. A lot of you guys were not here when I started. Dawn didn't get the notice. Anyway, it doesn't matter. You guys can watch the replay. So Deb, yeah, you missed it. And Robin is watching. Robin, now it says this about you every day. Robin Murray is watching. I don't know what you did that now you're the one that says it. Too busy getting coffee. No problem. All right, guys. Well, that's it for me. I am going to split. Now the comments are coming in. It's a great poem about perspective. Google it. Oh, okay. What was it called? 6 Men of Indostan. Let me write that down on my handy dandy. Wow, what am I? The guy from Blue's Clues? My handy dandy notebook. That's a blast from the past. Wow, my kids are way too old for Blue's Clues these days, but that just came rushing right back. That memory. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about. What is it called? Guys, everyone's commenting in the thing went away. 6 Men of Indostan. All right, I will look that up. Thank you, Ray. Okay, and what do we got here? Robin says, I didn't do anything. Okay. I know, you didn't do anything. And I think it's just, I think it's, what's it called? Random. It's you keep saying it. It's Robin Murray is watching. It says it again. Robin Murray is watching. Actually, you didn't do anything? Because I'm always curious if when it says that over and over about the same person, if they leave and come back. So can you verify that for me? I didn't say I was watching. I just don't get what that is. Another perspective. Okay, so what it does is you can't see it, but see the comments? Occasionally it'll say like this one right here is you, but it's not, you didn't comment this, it's your picture, and it says Robin Murray is watching. It's just telling me that you're watching. And I don't know why it chooses you, and I don't know why it told me twice in 2 different places that you were watching. Why not Ray? Why not Mikey or Deb or anyone else that is also watching? I don't know. It's weird, but I always wondered if it meant that you left and came back, and it's just this thing's way of telling me that you're watching because you came back, but it doesn't seem like you left. I think what happened was I stopped writing for a while, so it said it. Writing. I don't think so. I don't know. You know what? Your guess is as good as mine. I have no idea. And let's be done. Thanks, guys. I appreciate. No, we're not done. You know why? It's because I was too quiet. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe it's maybe it's a nudge to tell you to write some stuff. All right. Now we're done. Thanks very much. I will see you guys tomorrow. And maybe I'll do the one Mikey said. Maybe I won't if I think of something else. But I've got it down. I'll do it eventually. Thanks, guys, for hanging out with me. I appreciate it. And I'll see you tomorrow. Have a wonderful, night. Bye.